guys in this room that haven't played nearly as many of those?
Yeah, I mean, I try to just tell them what it's like or what it's been like. For a lot of people, yesterday was their first time either playing in the NCAA tournament or their first win. So, I just try to tell them about all the different adventures that we're gonna go on. We're here in the Bucks Arena, so it's something that is very special to us. We all want to play in NBA one day, so to be in these big time arenas is just a blessing that we are here.
Did you guys stay up to watch the Xavier and Illinois game last night?
We stayed up. Yeah, we stayed up to watch it. We watched a little bit. We kind of were all celebrating the win and being with our families after the game, but we was able to watch a little bit. The coach did a great job of bringing in a scout for us this morning, so we'll be ready to go.
And when he brought in that scout, what stood out to you guys on that team?
Yeah, they're really good, especially offensively. 32, their point guard freshman. He's a really good playmaker, getting downhill, getting fouled, scoring, making plays for people, and then just the guys around that they can all space the floor, shoot, attack the rim. So I think they got a really good team, and we got to go out there and disrupt them.
Every game in the NCAA tournament is win or go home. When you guys take the floor today for practice, is there a different mentality that you guys approach it with?
Yeah, we celebrated all last night, so it's back to work. Doing what we've been doing all year long to prepare for games. Going over Illinois scout and just going out there shooting and being free. So we're ready to win.
When I spoke to Trent yesterday, he mentioned Jackson and how Jackson has made an impact even though he's not playing. How do you feel like Jackson made an impact, from the sideline?
Yeah, Jackson's been leader this whole year for us. So him going down is really tough on everybody. But his voice has been amazing. Even though he hasn't been playing, just telling us little things off the court. Bringing us together in huddles and on the bench and stuff like that. So he's been great. He's been very involved with us, and we're going to need him to keep that voice going for us to win these next couple games.
Lamont, if you caught that Xavier-Illinois game, you've probably seen that there's a big contingency of Illinois fans here, only a short drive away. Just you guys have played in a lot of tough road environments in the SEC. Do you guys kind of embrace the road environment that's probably going to be here tomorrow night?
Yeah, we're ready for whatever. We have this opportunity to go out there and play in the NCAA tournament second round. So whoever's out there, we're going to go out there and play our hardest. we're here in the Bucks Arena. It's a blessing for us.
And kind of just the doubts that have been on this team this year, does that kind of give you more fuel for tomorrow? You'll have kind of fans probably booing you, and you kind of just want to prove everybody wrong.
Yeah, we love to be to prove people wrong. I feel like we've been doing that all season, and we got to continue doing this tournament.
You've been asked so much about all your NCAA tournament experience. What do you remember about the first game you played in this tournament?
Oh, first game we played, it was the bubble in 2021. I want to say we played Syracuse at Butler, so it was a rough game for us. It didn't go our way, but we were all excited just to be in the tournament. Well, for me, it was my first time, so I didn't really play that much, but to be on that stage and to get my first lick of NCAA tournament, it was great.
Were you nervous?
You know what? Like I said, I don't get nervous before games, so I was just excited to be there.
Could you tell if any teammates were nervous at all last night, beginning of the night at least?
No, I couldn't tell. Everybody, they seemed like they was ready, game ready. I think Coach Pope put it best before the game. Like when you're with the people that you want to be with, this is exactly where we want to be, and we had no doubt, no fear. We weren't nervous at all. We was ready to go.
There's such a cliche that a lot of us say all the time about the first game can sometimes be the hardest game. You've played probably the most games. Do you think the first one can be the hardest?
I think the first one is the hardest game from my experience. I think it's just everybody's so anxious, and things don't always go your way right away. So we stuck together. We just trying to win the championship. So we got to continue to put on good performances and lock in on the things that we didn't do well for this next game. So can't wait to go out there and win.
Lamont, you've probably been asked this already, but how's the shoulder feeling today after a practice, after a game last night, slept on it? How is it today?
It's feeling all right. Didn't have any setbacks, so it's a blessing here in the Bucks Arena. I'm ready to go.
We've talked about you went to maybe a smaller brace in the game against Oklahoma. Are you back with this heavier brace?
I'm back with a heavier brace. Yep, got it protected a little bit more, just so we can stay on the floor. I think the other one wasn't this brace wouldn't have stopped this injury that I got now, but it's just just want to protect the shoulder as much as possible.
What are you saying to these teammates? A lot of them have been on an in-between day, waiting on Sunday or Saturday, whatever the situation may be normally. What are you saying to them on this off day where you're trying to get prepared for Illinois?
Yeah, I mean, it's a one-day scout, so, you really got to be locked in mentally more than physically. We played yesterday, so we're not going to do too much on the court today. So it's going to be a really mental battle today, learning their tendencies and, learning about their team. So we got to go out there and just play hard, and I think everybody's going to be focused today. On
a one-day scout, you're halfway through the day. What do you know about Illinois? What are going to be some keys you guys are going to have to take care of?
Yeah, I mean, they're a really good team. Their point guard 32, he's a really good, passer, playmaker for the team. He can get downhill, get to the line. So we're going to have a heavy focus on ball screen defense. And everybody else around them, they have a lot of shooters and guys who get to the rim. So they're really good offensively. So we got to be able to disrupt them.
Coach Pope talked about this team kind of just right now winning and playing was just sheer will and love for one another. Where does that come from this season?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just throughout this year, through the summer, throughout this year, we just kind of grew together so close, and I think that's what takes you far in the tournament when you're playing for one another, playing with love and passion to go out there and win games. I mean, that's how you get the big bucks, man. It's we're just ready to go out there and play.
Different perspectives on life in general, and so something he talked about a whole lot is just being super appreciative of where you are in the moment and trying to stay present as much as possible, and so that really helps us try and go play by play and move on to what we need to do and control what you can control.
What is your mentality on the court?
We gotta have a super short memory. I think when we're out there, you gotta be fresh. We talk about being fresh every single play, and not let the things in the past affect you, or if you're thinking about what's going to happen in the future, that also messes with what's going on in the present. So for us being as where our feet are as much as possible really helps you, gives you the best chance to go out there and win.
How difficult is that this time of year as opposed to maybe in December or January when you get to this point?
Certainly, it is. I mean, it certainly is a little bit more difficult, especially when you feel like this could be the last game that you go into. It's really hard not to think about everything else that's going on in a play-to-play, 4-minute stretch to the next. So for us, you rely on your teammates for that, and everybody's going to have their moments of kind of turning away from that. So to be able to hold each other accountable, I think it's a really important part for us.
And growing up watching basketball, everybody kind of looks at that NCAA tournament bracket, fills out a bracket, looks at everything. Do you have to prevent yourself from even looking at it? Do you know what the bracket looks like outside of your little corner?
No, so I definitely haven't done a bracket in a little while, and certainly didn't do one this year. That was my favorite thing to do growing up. Of course, we loved it so much, but it's kind of hard to follow everything that's going on. You gotta continue to just try and focus on exactly what we're doing, one game at a time, and I feel like the whole team does a good job of that.
And I don't know if you've seen it, but you guys are actually underdogs, even though you're the better seed tomorrow against Illinois. Have you seen that, and what do you think about it?
Yeah, I hadn't seen that yet, and I think that's great for us. We've been underdogs all season. I think we've been counted out from the start, and so it's kind of different for Kentucky to be that way, but we're excited to embrace that role and go out there and be the villains.
Speaking of that, Illinois, obviously close to their alumni base in Chicago. They had a lot of fans here last night. They might have more fans tomorrow. What do you expect to go into the atmosphere like that tomorrow?
Yeah, definitely. I think we've had some good experience throughout the season of having, you go back to Seattle, you have a neutral game that's basically a away game, and so we've definitely had some experience with that this season, and so we're excited to be able to do that. There's nothing better in basketball. Obviously, you love playing at home, but silencing a crowd and being able to see another team's fans leaving before the game's over, that's really that's one of the best feelings in college basketball.
And how is your back, by the way? We keep asking about Lamar's shoulder. And
it's feeling great, man. It's feeling great. Yeah, it has. Ever since I sat out that Vanderbilt game, since then I got some injections, and I've been feeling a whole lot better since then. Thanks.
And just talking about Illinois, you've talked about it a little bit. What do you guys feel like you need to prioritize against them tomorrow night?
There's a couple things that we talked about. I think defending the three-point line is one of the big things. They shoot a lot of threes. They can shoot 1 through 5. Everybody shoots threes for them, and then certainly defensive rebounding. They all crash their guards, get offensive rebounds, and so those are kind of our big X factors going into the game.
And just looking at your all zone performance last night, just what do you guys feel like you could do better on going forward?
Yeah, I think we got to continue to do a great job of making plays for teammates and have great assist numbers. I think that's just when we're at our best is when we're able to get in the lane, make plays off of 2 feet and make cuts for each other, get cut assists or screen assists, duck assists. Like we talk about all those different things, and they're super cool for us to be able to focus on going into this next game. That's how we know we're at our best.
And you talk about that back getting better. Is that the reason you got 2 blocks last night? Getting up there?
Maybe it might be just credit to this guy right here. I've been getting in some foul trouble recently, so Jackson just tells me to go block a shot instead of trying to wall up or be vertical. So that helps a little bit too.
All right.
Remind everyone, what was it like in Dayton? Did you get past the first round when you were there? It slipped my mind.
Yeah, we beat Nevada in the first round. It was a pretty crazy game. We were down 17 a couple minutes ago and came back and won. And then we played Arizona next game. And it was a tough game. We battled until the end.
What do you feel like were your emotions then and your thought process then, what you were going through personally then after that win? And then compare that to now for us.
Kind of the same, just with these games and this tournament, it's a pretty quick turnaround, so, you can't stay stuck on the first win too much. You kind of just got to be ready to come in the next day, go back to work, and be ready for your next opponent. So it's kind of the same, really, just a new group of guys, new group of coaching staff, and, a little bit different plan, but, I feel like we have a good thing coming into this next game.
So hours and minutes celebrating and not a day or so. What was that like to feel the relief of winning though last night?
It was good because, you obviously got to get the first one out the way before you're able to keep going. So first one's always weird, so it was good to get that one out the way. And, like I keep saying, we're just looking forward to the next one. We know that, this one's not going to be easy. Nothing about this tournament is easy, so we got to be willing to come out and do hard things.
Kobe, you guys are used to having a huge Kentucky fan base behind you in most games. Did you notice how much orange was in the building yesterday and that you might be at a little bit of a disadvantage?
Yeah, we keep hearing, it might be like a little bit of an away game for us, but, I feel like we've been through it before. It's not our first time going through this, and I think we'll be ready for it. So we still know that maybe it won't be the whole BBN here with us, but that small part of it that will be blue, we'll see that and we'll appreciate that. And, we'll take that and we'll be ready to go.
You guys have had some good performances on the road this season. Is part of you like playing when the world is against you?
Not for sure. I think we have a lot of guys on this team that we kind of take that role of just being the villain, and we like that, and we're ready to go no matter what. So just to come out and kind of be the underdogs again, which we've been all year really, we prepare for it.
You've had a couple hours since the win last night. Just what do you know about Illinois that you guys need to stop and prioritize?
Yeah, they're a really good team, really physical team. They crash the boards really aggressively, and they shoot a lot of threes. So we got to be able to get a hand up, make sure they're taking hard shots, and then be ready to box out and win those rebounding wars. And that's going to be a big part of if we have success or not. So just got to be able to stop them and stop them from getting to the glass. And offensively, we just do the same thing that we do with every single team. Try to make it a 40-minute game. Try to wear them out as much as possible, and I think we'll be in a pretty good spot.
And looking at your all's performance, what do you guys feel like you may be able to do better tomorrow night?
Yeah, just continue to be aggressive on the boards, make sure that we're rebounding on both ends, not just defensively but offensively as well. And just staying true to ourselves, man. Just keep doing what we've been doing this whole year. It's worked out well for us, and it'll work out well against anybody if we just continue to do that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think everyone knows that. It's in the back of our mind. Yeah, it feels great. It's really exciting. Get to go out there with some fellow Kentucky guys and get a win. For a lot of our guys, I think we're trying to do. Get the win column and get another game up here. So excited about that.
How was your recent team struggles on 2K back in the hotel in college? Has that been affecting you in any way? Just tell me about that.
No, actually, I think it's helped my game a little bit because playing at 2K, my dudes can't really shoot it very well. So it's made me, who's primarily a three-point shooting threat, open up my game a little bit and realize that I need to get to the basket a little bit more to be successful at that level. So it's kind of helped my game, I think, if anything.
Yeah. And how about you, Colin? Your recent struggles in 2K against us. I mean, is that help your game?
Well, us? What do you mean by us?
Yeah.
You?
Me. Yeah. TP, not so much. But just tell me about that.
Well, it's a game of ups and downs, right? With TP, when I play him, I'm very confident as a 2K player, and I feel like I'm really good. When I play Trent, there are some moments of weakness for sure. It's a game of runs. I'm yet to come out with a bigger run than Trent. So, yeah, but then I just got to play TP again and my confidence will go back up.
Yeah, I appreciate your kind words. And Colin, Travis, Zach, thank you for your time.
I think you have a feature in the big, so that was awesome.
So what are the teams you guys play with on 2K? Who's everybody's team?
We go random.
Sounds like you guys moved on from Werewolf to now playing 2K.
Well, our hotel this time we can't switch the HDMI to HDMI 2, so we're back to Werewolf for the time being.
Yeah, I should do that. Yeah. We spent hours one night trying to figure out the HDMI.
So when you're tired from the game, you're like, all right, let's just to do some IT work on the hotel room.
Yeah. It was the first night in. We probably spent an hour trying to fix the HDMI.
We probably called 2 electricians.
Yeah.
No one decided
to figure it out either. Yeah. I don't know. I guess it's back to where
I can't. Thank you, guys.
All right, Colin. Just talking about the high from last night. Obviously, you guys celebrated the first win and stuff like that. Just kind of get prepared for tomorrow night. Just kind of what's been the process to do that.
Yeah, well, I think the emphasis for us has been. We're not going to get too high, too low, and it's been like that the whole season. But sticking to our same old boring habits that we do every game, and we're not changing anything up. So we're coming at this game like we do every other game.
And honestly, not a lot of time has passed. But if you had a chance to catch the Xavier Illinois game, a little bit less.
I caught the second half of it back at the hotel, so I got to get a little bit of a feel for the Illinois team, and we did some scouting this morning, and I think we have a good feel for what they are.
So you might have heard the big Illinois contingency that was there last night, so it might be a little bit of a road game tomorrow. So do you guys embrace that? Want to be the villain?
So I'm sure BBN is going to come out. We're going to have a good amount of fans, but we're used to playing in environments like that. But the thing is, even when we go into road environments, oftentimes there's a lot of Kentucky fans there as well. So I don't know if I think it'll have a little familiarity that we've played in before. So I think we're ready for that.
I know probably this time last year, you probably never thought you'd be in a Kentucky uniform. Obviously, you kind of lived that dream throughout this year. Just what did it feel like to play an NCAA tournament game?
Definitely unexpected, but it was an awesome experience. I definitely woke up this morning feeling really blessed and just thankful for everything that happened.
All right, and just what's been your favorite moment? I know, obviously, hopefully you guys continue to go forward. Just what's been your favorite moment this year? The first game at Rupp, this one, just.
Best moment, honestly, was probably when we beat Duke back in November. That was definitely
Did it feel sweet coming from a Kentucky kid like that? That's the reason you like it?
It definitely was a little sweeter being a part of it rather than watching it on TV.
I'm over them today. Very, very good team, not looking past no team, but run some actually can really rebound the ball. ball, shoot threes, and sit down on defense. So it'll be a huge challenge for us. But I feel like if we go out there, stick to our principles, and just don't do no extra stuff, we'll come out there on top.
And you talk about that extra stuff. I know you like being an underdog. You like the physical games. Just Illinois, they're probably going to bring a lot of fans tomorrow. A lot of people talking. And John, just do you like that? Do you like to embrace the villain role?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like once somebody starts talking, that's just the energy part where like my teammates feed off that. Like yesterday, it got a little chippy, as everybody saw, but I feel like we feed off that, and then their fans and stuff. Just if they bring a lot of fans, just leaving them quiet is like the best feeling ever, I'll say.
And is that something that you embrace, just kind of like being the annoyance of the other team?
Yeah, for sure. Just trying to get in their heads and stuff, get them out their game. Just little things you can do, playing against other teams to come out on top.
And I know this has been a business trip, but just kind of what have you guys done to kind of keep yourself relaxed? I know a couple of the guys mentioned playing 2K against each other. What have you been doing?
Yeah, I've really just been, we staying at a little arts hotel, so I'll just go downstairs, put on my headphones, go look at the art. I like looking at stuff like that. Probably going a little walk, trying to stay out the room, because if you stay in the room, you start thinking about a lot of stuff. So just keep my mind busy, doing little things like that.
All right, thank you.
It's important, got to take them out what they like doing, which is, playing on that front.
I'm just wondering, so many newcomers in this roster, all newcomers. How were y'all able to kind of develop the chemistry y'all have?
Just all the work we put in. It's a different situation for sure that we all know, but we're all there. We know what it takes to win, and we have goals that we put our mind to, so things got to come together and just make something happen.
Illinois was kind of in the similar situation. They had to rebuild their entire roster as well during the second round. Is it easier to do that maybe nowadays with the transfer portal and NIL to kind of rebuild a roster on the fly, do you think? Or?
Shoot, I don't know. I think it just depends on the type of players you get, like character-wise and stuff like that. So,
I know you guys are all about business right now, but there's a lot of guys who are talking about, have a little fun while you guys are here, playing 2K, doing things, while you're not on the court. What is something that you've enjoyed since you guys have been out here? How are you having fun?
I'm just watching the games. I don't be playing games like that. So it's just really I like watching basketball. I like hanging out with my teammates and stuff like that, but in terms of playing the game, I don't.
You focus on that Patino Calipari basketball now?
Yeah, it's a good game.
Your brother was at the game yesterday. How cool was it to have him in town and him supporting you the way you've obviously supported him or his career?
Yeah, it's great. I have my whole family there. Whenever you can come out, make time just to watch the game. It means a lot. It's a big support system that I have. It's genuine because my brother. It just means a lot.
What advice has he given you over the course of his career to kind of?
Now you're good.
The big stage to perform the way he has.
Yeah, he just always told me just keep my head down, just focus on things I can control, which is the way I play, my attitude, stuff like that, and then to not shy away from the moment. We worked to get to the point that we at, so you gotta embrace it and don't shy away from it.
What did he say about your performance yesterday?
So it's a great performance. It's one. Just gotta keep my step.
What type of crowd are you expecting tomorrow? Kentucky normally travels really well. We're close to Illinois. Were you expecting this to be a pro-Kentucky crowd, pro-Illinois? Or?
It's probably going to be pro-Illinois, but I think Kentucky fans still going to be loud. So.
What is your mentality going into the game tomorrow?
To win. Whatever it takes to win. That's all I'm thinking in March right now.
Everyone was talking about how competitive the SEC was ahead of the tournament. Now the Big Ten is perfect throughout their tournament games. What's the difference between those kinds of conferences?
I don't even know, if I'm being honest. I'm just all focused on us, what we doing. I didn't even know that they're perfect. The SEC, we had a tough schedule year round, so we battle tested. So, whatever team's in front of us, we're just going to go out there and battle, and whatever happens, happens.
When you talk about being the pro-Illinois crowd, does that give you a little more juice for tomorrow? The kind of the doubters have been all season just prove them wrong?
Yeah, we're just going to go out there, try and hoop, and then, get in the win, and those road environments is always a good feeling. So, definitely want to get that.
And I know you haven't had a lot of time, but obviously you've looked at Illinois just a little bit. Just what do you feel like you guys need to prioritize for tomorrow?
They shoot a lot of threes, kind of like us too. So we just got to guard the three well. They're big. They're big 7-1 can shoot it. So we got to contest with a high hand, block them out. They love offensive rebounding. So.
And looking at your all's own performance last night, just what do you guys feel like you could be better at?
Just keeping our foot on the gas. I feel like a couple times we slipped up a little bit just with like some turnovers and not getting back in transition. So just playing hard and playing with focus and intent for 40 minutes straight.
And having the high of winning an NCAA tournament game, your first last night, just kind of how do you refocus going into tomorrow? Has Coach Pope had any motivational sayings going into tomorrow or anything like that?
Yeah, no, we're trying to keep on playing, man. This winter go home, so we don't want our season to end. Just trying to keep on going.
And Coach Pope also talked about just you guys are literally playing through sheer will and kind of just love for another right now, just trying to everybody injuries and everything like that. Just where does that come from? Where did that originate this year?
I think it's just that comes from the buildup of this team. Everyone's selfless. Everyone's put each other before themselves. So we just trying to go out there and play for our brothers, play for the person next to us, and if that means playing hurt, that's what we gotta do. A lot of guys probably banged up, but it's winter time, so we just gotta play for our brother.
Be the best player on court. So just having that, just knowing that there's really no friends between the lines is something that helps me. It's something that I try to keep in the back of my mind. It's helped me so far this season, and I hope it helps me tomorrow. So.
Is there a point in your career where you had to kind of like maybe a coach or something like Drexel had to kind of push you to bring that out?
I would just say it just happens when I feel like I get hit a lot. So I feel like it's a physical thing for me. Like once I realize the game is physical and people able to hit, I would get knocked the wrong way. I feel like that's what started to develop my freshman year, my sophomore year, and ever since then, I haven't really looked back and it's something I've been able to switch on. So.
Laurie, I'm sure you've been asked this already. How's the back feeling?
It's feeling good. I did a lot of treatment on it last night after the game. It was a late night, but I'm feeling better today. Still doing treatment on it this morning and tonight, so I'll be ready to go.
You talk about the physicality. Just talk about the dunk from last night. When you went up, did you think you might have passed it, or did you go up and try to dunk on his head?
I just remember running and realized that nobody was open in the corners because they just found out. I was like, I'm going too fast to be able to lay the ball up now, so it was either a dunk or nothing. And, thankfully, on the right way. So.
And it's only been a few hours since since last night, but just what do you know about Illinois so far? And I'm sure you probably heard the contingency if you watched the game a little bit. Are you kind of embracing the road villain?
Yeah, kind of. We're seeing how the fans have traveled, and BPN always travels too. So it's gonna be a great environment tomorrow. But just knowing that they stretched the floor like they did, like yesterday's team did Troy, and just the way they're able to crash the glass. So they got a lot of similarities to Troy, and we got to take away the same things, and that's gonna help us out another game. So.
You gotta have to treat it like a road game.
I would say so. Yeah, just like when we played Gonzaga in Seattle, they said it was neutral, but we both know that it wasn't really a neutral game just because of how many Gonzaga fans were over there. But like you said, we just treat it like it's a normal game. Even though they're gonna have a lot of fans, this is what we expect. So it's gonna be a fun game.